Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 528, released August 2014. Cover price $5. Let's try that again. Cover price $5.99, which is indeed cheap. But, oh, look at this. I was painting down here, and that's from the watercolor jar. Anyway, but first, let me say a few things. Make sure, please, to hit subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment down below. If you've already subscribed to this channel, double check that you're still subscribed, and consider supporting me on patreon.com/flippinthrough. If you do that, you can get all sorts of awesome stickers like these four right there. But I want to thank those people who do support me on Patreon, because they help me do things like buy a new camera, which is pretty awesome, or buy new lights, which I'm going to buy, I think, next, because the ones I use are a little blinding. Anyway, those people are David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Ed Meisinger, Doug Guilford, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead, Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Kyle Bridget. I hope that I can keep on earning your money. I kind of got distracted and I forgot what I normally say. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. I've been having these problems with technology, and I don't know. I'm trying to fix them. I can't figure them out. So right now I'm hearing myself delayed about like 1 second. But I think I just need to deal with it. Anyway, Mad Magazine number 528. Look at that. Kimye. Did they ever have a name? One of those portmanteaus? I have no idea. But they did have a baby, and it did not look like that. But the happy couple, apparently happy no longer. I believe they are getting divorced. This channel became a gossip channel, a Hollywood gossip channel, so gradually nobody even noticed. Anyway, I got to quit messing with stuff. I'm just like touching everything and trying to get everything just right. This is, I don't know who did this cover, but I'm going to find out, because I really like this. I think it is, first off, because I really like Universal Monsters, but also I just like their faces so much. Like hers especially, like it's actually very, very accurate to what she looks like, isn't it? And I mean, she has this sort of like demented smile and these lips and everything, but it's not one of those caricatures that's just like totally exaggerated to kind of gross proportions. This actually looks a lot like her, and that's what makes it, in my opinion, so much funnier. Who did this now? I finally got to it. I didn't have it up. Mark Fredrickson. Mark Fredrickson. I think he was doing almost all of these covers, and he also came back to do the cover for Mad number 21 with the sports cover. Anyway, he does a fantastic job, and I absolutely love it. Kim and Kanye in Monster Marriage. Anyway, enough about that. God. See, this is my problem with the lights, is when I get to these glossy pages, it just gets to be too much. Jeez Louise. And there's like nothing I can do about it, except like turn this that way, but then it's also dark. Oh well. I think we can all probably deal with that. Spy vs. Spy ad. Masters of Mayhem. Is this the one that is like the Spy Museum too? Yeah, spymuseumstore.com. I might, if that's still a thing, I might check that out. I'm liking that shirt. I'm liking that a lot. Anyway, who do we have here? This is Rick Tulka. This is what's his name? It's the guy, Tom Richmond. Tom Bunk there. Peter Cooper. No idea who this is, but we'll figure it out. Here we have the Lettuce and Tomatoes department. I've said it before, and I will say it again, and I'll keep saying it, all right? Because if Mad Magazine ever comes back, I swear to God, they better get their frickin' letters department back in order, because this is a house out of order. Look at this. I don't know. A child, I don't know, holding a magazine. Here's more children pretending to read Mad Magazine, okay? What's this? I don't know. Some stranger at a bar making this kid hold up a sign like a creep, all right? It's all like this weird, what's the opposite of fan service? Where the fans just don't, this is like fanboyism, and I hate it, okay? The best kind of mad fanboys are the ones that talk shit about it, all right? That's the best kind. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to dote on it, make our children take photographs. Anyway. Remembering Albert B. Feldstein. Albert Feldstein he's the one that turned it into a magazine, essentially, right? Isn't he the one that took over? We're saddened. This is the memoriam. I didn't realize this was in here. We're saddened to share the news that former MAD editor Al Feldstein passed away on April 29th at the age of 88. Al became editor in 1956 and oversaw MAD's growth and change up until his retirement in 1984. During Al's tenure, he broadened the magazine's scope and introduced many members of the usual gang of idiots. He also ushered in many classic MAD features, several of which still appear in our pages, including the Mad Fold-In, Spy vs. Spy, a Mad Look At, and Snappy Answers to Stupid Questions. Al also pioneered the use of MAD staff members as unpaid models in MAD and ad parodies. Here are some featuring Al himself. Now, do you notice he did not want to take credit for not a Mad Look At, the lighter side of, but maybe he had nothing to do with it. This is cool. I always liked this a lot, and it's I don't know, very good facial acting, right? The way he's mugging for the camera and he scrunches his face up so much. The news of his passing prompted a massive outpouring of condolences online. Just a small sampling from MAD's Facebook page. Jeffrey Boardman, Pat Adler, Ray Didia, Shane Buckley. Holy Shane Buckley! Hey, friend of the show, Shane Buckley. Another man that shaped my young mind gone. When I was a kid, I wrote to the magazine, and Al took the time to answer me with a handwritten note. I still have it. Shane Buckley, I don't believe you. You better produce photographic evidence of this. That is so funny. Holy smokes. Does he realize? Yeah, he must, right? Oh, my goodness. How fun. Oh, my goodness. Listen, that amuses me to no end. That's great. Oh, and then look at Patton Oswalt taking a picture of himself. That's not the spirit of the contest, Patton, okay? And also, you're calling yourself a celebrity. My stepmother knows him from high school. Yeah, but your stepmother isn't in the photo with him. Jesus. If it wasn't for Shane Buckley appearing in this letter section, I'd be furious right now. All right? I'm bordering on furious at this very moment. I forgot to mention, if you want to flip along with me, there's also a link down below for this page on madcoversite.com, because I skip over stuff, and you might be curious as to what I skipped over, whether it's like the artist or the writer involved. Here are the real reasons Vladimir Putin hates America. He's trying to rekindle the Cold War, and America is busy spying on its own people. That's very good. His true essence wasn't captured when George W. Bush painted him. He can see Sarah Palin from his house. He believes he should have played Dos Equis' most interesting man in the world. Now, thankfully, they finally got around to adding, like, giving the bylines to the people right where their work appears. So this is friend of the show, Matt Lassen, and artist Ward Sutton. Oh, here we go. This is like, this is one of those where it's like, it's probably going to be some dumb jokes, right? That don't age super well. Results of the inevitable legalization of marijuana. Wait a second. What year did this come out in? 2014. So it's been 7 years. Many job applicants will finally be able to put previously undisclosed sales experience on their resumes. That's good. Inevitably, that annoys me. Editorial, it says inevitable, and then you use inevitable in one of the punchlines. Inevitably, some jackwads will insist on smoking e-joints. There will be an explosion in the number of douches who think that they can play the guitar just because there's one lying around. School children will have a legitimate interest in learning weight conversions for ounces. And 5, it sure as hell won't decrease obesity. Writer Matt Lassen, artist Tim Hamilton. Celebrity cause of death with some beautiful Rick Tolka. This is George R.R. Martin. Beheaded by angry mob of fans pissed that he isn't cranking out novels fast enough. Asphyxiated when gum and beard situation gets way out of hand, 5-1. Testicular turmoil when Peter Dinklage accidentally headbutts his junk. That could be a double death right there. Catastrophic cap lice. Shot by wife when in the heat of passion he calls out the name, what is that? Daenerys Targaryen, Queen of the Andals. I'm assuming that that's a character. I never watched the show. When things get too popular, I refuse to participate. We may be too late. PCV, always killing it. Look at this. Who is this? Anton Ebden. I like this guy a lot. Anton Emden. I gotta see if he's on Instagram. I really like his style quite a bit. Kenny Keel, friend of the show. The real reason for Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin's split was Chris Martin he's from... I forget the name of his band. Anyway. Oh, Coldplay. Gwyneth finally listened to a Coldplay album. Historical inaccuracies in Noah. Oh, is this too... This one might be too small. Let's see if the zoom can handle it. Hell yeah. Look at this. This is a freaking awesome camera, man. I love this now. This is so much more fun. Labradoodles did not exist back then. And Noah's sons were named Ham, Shem, and Japheth, not Cody, Todd, and Logan. Look at that. There's just so much to drink in. Like, do you really need the captions? No offense, Jeff Cruz. You know, I like your work. However, do we need your work here? Or is Tom Bunk's cartoon enough? Golly. Tom Bunk. I wonder if I should try to get Tom Bunk on the show. I haven't done an interview in so long. The cover we didn't use. Oh, man. The cover we didn't use. I think it was Matt Lassen that pointed out, like, it was never in the running, right? But oftentimes it's so much better. I mean, it was like, look at this one. Imagine, like, I know I was just very complimentary about the cover, but this would have been iconic. Look at that. That is so beautiful. I mean, just look at all, like, the neat little Easter eggs hidden into this, like, psychedelic, I don't know, man. I love that. And then, it's Mad Men, right? That would have been such an awesome cover. Holy smokes. Now, the only problem with, like, the Fundolini pages is that, I mean, it's just full of stuff. And that's a pretty good problem to have. But what it means is I eat up all the time in the Fundolini pages. And I could, like, focus on this for the whole time. But there's a whole rest of the magazine that I got to get to. And this video is almost halfway over, and I'm like 3 pages in. Some beautiful Tom Richmond artwork for Two Defectives. Sneaking in the Poyet. You can always rely on Tom Richmond for some good chicken fat. He knows what he's doing. This guy knows Mad Magazine. There's Potter Zeeby, Fleur Schugener, Moxie. Look at, I'm trying to, like, zoom my face in. I can just zoom in right here with my machine. So this guy, is this Matthew McConaughey? I will say this. Don't tell Tom I said this. Not the best McConaughey, all right? Don't tell him, but anyway, so you have that. All right. From Dazed and Confused. It's crackers to Slipper, Roser, the Dropsy, and Snide. Again, that's an old Mad thing. Sookie and... Oh, is that a... I'm embarrassed to admit, that's a True Blood reference. I wish I didn't know that. That's like Dracula drama. That's what True Blood is, if you haven't seen it. It's like, it's like if Dracula was like a soap opera. That's basically it. But yeah. This looks like, and that looks like Matthew McConaughey right there. Is Matthew McConaughey hard to draw? That could be. Could very well be. Is that okay? No, see, look at, jeez Louise. It's paper pages for me. Paper pages are nothing. Ooh, that's what it was. Kimye. How did I fuck up Kimye? Oh, I'm such a loser. How Kimye stacks up against other famous married couples. We gotta check this out. Is there anything more annoying than the combining, right? Because there's Brad Jelena. His father-in-law, John Voight, plays a psychotic alcoholic murderer in Ray Donovan. And Kimye, his mother-in-law, Kris Jenner, plays herself on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Advantage, Brad Pitt and Jolie. Yeah, John Voight is pretty awesome. Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards. Alcohol abuse, drug addiction, and infidelity brought their marriage to a shameful end. Kimye are incapable of shame. Advantage, tie. Here we go. This will be a good one. John and Jackie. Oh, Jackie Onassis Kennedy. Jackie experienced the horror of having her husband assassinated in front of her. That wasn't funny. Kanye experienced the horror of having to appear on Kris Jenner's daytime talk show. Advantage? Tie. All right, hold on. Power couple, Nelson and Winnie Mandela. She waited for him while he was in prison for nearly 3 decades. I mean, really, that's amazing. But I did not know he was married. He waited for her while she was married to Chris Humphries for nearly 3 months. Oh, here. Oh, look at How many of these people are now divorced? Bill and Melinda Gates have inspired a generation of selfless philanthropists. Have they, though? Who? Anyway, have inspired Seth Rogen and James Franco. And that must be a topical reference. I don't remember. Anyway, let's zoom out. Split. What is this? Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin. Split. Bill and Hillary. I think they're only together because, they have dirt on each other. Split, technically. Split. I think so. Right? Because Ellen is abusive. Split, technically again. Anyway. Planet Tad. I'm not going to read through this one. I read through all the other ones that I normally come to. So hit pause if you want to read this. It's always worth reading. Planet Tad is fantastic. Oh shit. This is probably such a good one. Look at, he sent us a note. Would you like to go out with me? Oh, Tad, didn't you learn last time? You can't learn. There's no learning when you're in love. You know this. We all know this. The heart wants what the heart wants. Appy. Oh, I'm not going to read this. Writer Mick Morse. This is a comedic tape on the song Happy, but it's not Frank Jacobs. So I'm not even going to give it a chance because I will feel embarrassed and I will want to stop reading it. So I'm not even going to start. I hope I'm not missing out on something beautiful. MAD presents Motownopoly, the municipal bankruptcy game from Detroit. How long has Detroit been horrible? I'm a young man, okay, guys, so give me a break. But I remember as a kid watching, what was it, Beverly Hills Cop. And if you recall, in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley begins, he's a Detroit cop, right? And what happens? His ex-partner who moved to Beverly Hills, is Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, gets killed, and he gets pulled into that. He has to go and he's like, there's some fishy stuff I got to investigate. But anyway, that was in the 80s. I remember watching that as a kid, and Detroit was a scary, horrible place. But at some point, it was a very nice place. But it's been horrible for so long. You could do this now, right? And it would still be relevant. There would just be a joke about, lead in the water or something. Somebody in the comments, tell me the history of Detroit, please. A brief history. I would appreciate it. Thank you. She was the product of cosmetic science gone mad. He possessed an arrogance of horrific proportions. When their giant egos were joined together, no one was spared. Yeah. Good luck, bro. Chris Humphreys. Hit it. Wait, hit. I hit it first. Ray J. That's not nice. You wouldn't say that to a married man. Pardon me. As a producer of Kim's show, I think it's wonderful. As a human being, I realize I'm going to hell. Kim Kardashian as the woman laughably wearing white. Kanye West is the self-proclaimed greatest groom of all time. Kris Jenner as the monster-in-law. Northwest as the child of the damned. Bruce Jenner is the man with no Adam's apple. Wait, was this? I wonder, was this, did I just look? I looked profoundly cross-eyed for a moment. Jay-Z as the invisible man. Here we have, I don't like these. I never like these, I'll be honest. Where it feels like an ad. And I'd be curious, if I ever get a big shot at MAD, I want to know, did they ever have shit like that? Like, who was the editor at this time? Did they ever have, like, Warner Brothers knocking on the door saying, hey, not Warner Brothers, Disney, this was, or Marvel. It wasn't owned by Disney at this point. Did they ever have them knocking on the door and saying, hey, we'll give you money, you do a mad look at Captain America? Because they aren't dummies. Wait, Winter Soldier? Maybe Disney did own them by then. But, they had to. To me, that this doesn't really make sense otherwise, unless they were getting paid for it. Otherwise, why would you do this? That's, Go behind the scenes at MAD. Inside MAD. Introduction by Judd Apatow. I am always kind of, I'm curious about some of these, right? Like, introduction by Judd Apatow. I guess, like, he's a comedic director, right? But then featuring pithy commentaries by Roseanne Barr, okay, comedian, Ken Burns. That's weird. A little, right? Paul Feig. I think he was a comedic director too. Whoopi Goldberg. That one makes sense. That one makes sense out of the most sense. This should be introduction by Whoopi. You know Whoopi Goldberg? Her nickname, Whoopi, was because she was always farting. She had some horrible issue with flatulence. That's why she's called Whoopi. Anyway, Tony Hawk. No, does not make sense. Why? Ice-T doesn't make sense. Penn Jillette? I don't know. He seems too cynical to be a MAD fan. George Lopez? More sense than Ice-T. David Lynch? That doesn't make any sense at all. That possibly makes the least amount of sense. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm not saying that they did not read MAD or that they weren't inspired by it. I guess it just they don't seem to fit. I don't know. These are beautiful illustrations by Rick Tolka. MAD's Celebrity Acronyms. Written by Matt Lassen, artist Rick Tolka. Cowl, cantankerous observer wantonly expresses loathsome laments. West, windbag enjoys self tremendously. Cyrus, crude Yahoo relishes uncovered skin. Harris, host any random reception if summoned. Here we have MAD from the Vault from 2001. So a recent entry to the Vault. Some John Caldwell. I think I said this before. I don't like how it was shrunk down. I like the idea of this. And like, even if they resurrect MAD and they continue something like this with the MAD Vault, I think it should be, I'd be fine with that because there's so much great stuff that people might never read otherwise. Full-sized, guys. And then do like a filter over it so it looks old. Also, this is another thing I'd change. You know what? I think I'm going to make a video about if I were in charge of MAD Magazine. And I'm going to send it to MAD Magazine in a letter. And I'm going to tell them what shitheads they are. And how I'm so much smarter than them. Because that's what a letters column should be. The strip club. Anyway. I'm so distracted. I've upset myself again with this letters column stuff. Boy, it really just chaps my ass, though. The rat's nest. Ugh, there's nothing to eat, and I'm broke. What am I doing with my finger? This is so disgusting. And I really like it. Look at his tongue. Sticking out from between his teeth. It's beautiful. Dirt lobsters. Reality show rejection letters. I gotta zoom in. We gotta do this, right? This is the one everybody wants to read, which is Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Wait, what is it? Diners, Drive-Ins, and... You know the one I'm talking about. Olaf from Triple D. Really grills my cheesesteaks to inform you that I won't be hopping the Flavortown Express down to your chow house this season. It was a close call, but when it came down to it, your joint just wasn't up to snuff. Here's why. When you say bottomless nachos, mean it. I want to be able to jump in there and swim around. Cannonball! Just because it's a sampler plate doesn't mean it has to be served on an actual plate. Get creative. Tin buckets, dog bowls, antique bathtubs, horse troughs, or even catapults can add a lot to a meal's presentation. Think outside the box. You could also use a box. You serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What about all the meals in between? Pro tip, any brisket that weighs less than a newborn infant is technically a salad. We noticed that on your burger menu, bacon was considered an extra. What is this, communist Russia? How come all your cooks wear plastic gloves and hairnets? Here on Triple D, we call those flavor blockers. I see pizza, I see burgers. Where are the pizza burgers? The patrons in your restaurant don't seem to have that trademark thyroid condition we go for here on Triple D. Work on these problem areas and I'll be flop sweating into your deep fryers in no time. Booyah. Guy Fieri. That's pretty good. Written by Kenny Kyle, friend of the show. I just like that term, friend of the show, if you haven't guessed it. If you haven't figured that out. A lovely Peter Cooper, Spy vs. Spy. The Puffington host. And of course, the fold-in. Herman Mejia doing a beautiful Godzilla. This is the thing that gets lost. I mean, it's not the best example of it, but how Herman Mejia does, like, how he paints in things, and he does these, like, little brush strokes, and they're so cool. They look even cooler on, like, a human's face because it adds all this texture. On this, it gives the appearance of scales, but it's, I don't, it just isn't quite the same as with a human caricature. Anyway, then we got an ad on the back, and nobody cares about that. Please remember, I'm live every other Friday. If you're watching this, you missed it, so you better come back in 2 weeks, because Kyle Bridget and I are going to be doing a special Halloween live stream going through the latest issue of MAD magazine. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment down below. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and visit that patreon.com/flippinthrough. Toodaloo.